They spend their days assembling, smoothing, engraving and polishing. Master craftsmen love what they do, and so do their customers, fascinated by that inimitable savoir-faire. Paris's Passage Saint-Sébastien used to be home to one of the trade's liveliest hubs.
I'm the youngest in Paris to have set up my own business, and also, it's fair to say, one of the last. Here in Paris there are only about 10 workshops left, if even that.
Camille works as a project manager. After proposing an object to a client, he commissions smelters and silversmiths to create its parts. But nowadays, fewer and fewer families are investing in artisanal homeware.
It's a bit of competition among us, among the workshops. Who's going to get commissioned to do the tea set of the year?
Just one tea set?
Yes, one tea set. Nobody sells tea sets anymore.
If I ordered one today, how much would that cost me?
Well, if we're talking silver, I think you're looking at around 10,000 euros for a complete tea set.
Aside from special jobs, Camille works for both independent labels and larger Parisian companies that don't have their own workshops. His main concern isn't so much ensuring a minimum number of orders as training decent apprentices.
Our hands are dirty from morning till night. When we're polishing, we get completely black. So it's really quite dirty. You breathe in dust, you're supposed to wear a mask, but sometimes I just can't wear a mask all day, it's not possible. There you go, it's a dirty, dangerous job, you've got to be careful. But we're talking about creating something, starting from nothing and creating something in its entirety. That's what I like about it.
Objects like this silver vase, for example. Creating something that's rare or even unique is crucial for any artisan hoping to make it on the international scene and be taken under the wing of heritage groups.
I really want the decorators, the interior designers to work together with the master craftsmen. Because nowadays, very often, they can't reveal who they're working for. And the designers and other creatives don't tend to talk about the artisan. Whereas in the 19th century, their two signatures would appear side by side.
Another artisan supported by the Faber Lambert Association is Malteran, based in the countryside west of Paris. Its founder is a former sport teacher who dabbled in the furniture industry before deciding in 2009, at the heart of the economic crisis, to create globes.
The deciding moment came when I was at work. At my desk, sat in a chair. And I said to myself, I really need to do something a little more authentic and enduring. And the idea of globes just came to me immediately.
These impressive globes are made by hand. Each is unique, modern cartography rendered with ancient techniques. Before revealing the first of its kind in 2012, Gilles de Pays spent years on research and development.
Globes really need to stand the test of time for decades and decades. So we had quite a few tests to do. Why did we need 3-4 years? Well, we had to test the paint, the pigments, the varnishes. We had to develop certain ink and paints ourselves to make sure it was excellent quality so that it would last.
The only 21st century technique used by Gilles de Pays is the laser he uses to trace his continents and oceans. The rest is all down to a steady hand and more than a little patience.
We paint each globe with a total of 20 or 30 layers of varnish. That's what makes it look so unique. And we also blast the final product with water to make it really smooth. All the illustrations are made with an inked feather directly onto the globe.
Letitia's been drawing for 20 years. For her, calligraphic lines are a vehicle for human emotion and the act of drawing evidence of what she calls the hand's intelligence. It's all about concentration, analysis and precision.
I tend to finish with the Pacific, with all those little islands whose names are sometimes only 1 millimeter tall. I try to make sure that the words aren't more imposing than the island itself. Even if the sphere is really large, certain islands are very small indeed.
The workshop's name, Malteran, was invented by Gilles Dupaix, who chose it for its mythical resonances. The company doesn't advertise. Instead, it works with a host of international designers and enjoys an exclusive clientele.
We only take individual orders.
I assume internationally.
Mainly.
So what's your price range?
150,000 euros for the cheapest. At the high end, there's no limit.
And how many hours work?
For a globe, we're talking at least a year, really. That's the minimum for a 1.5 metre globe.
These master craftsmen certainly love what they do, but for their work to be appreciated by as many people as possible, they need new clients as much as they do new apprentices.